Hey, what's up, everybody? I recently made a Trenchy edit, and a lot of people are pinging me and asking me like how I did that, or if I can share the profile in the installer. With all the edits that I make every single day, there's no way that we can just put all of them into the installer. It's already crazy enough managing 7 of them. So I just thought I'd make a quick video of like how you can make adjustments to any profile in the installer and kind of make it your own, or try to replicate some things that I do and make some quick edits. So the one that I'm referencing, let me pull this up too. I recently made a YouTube video on this. Share my screen. Go check this out. I would appreciate it if you liked and subscribed to the channel. I have a lot of videos coming out almost every day. I try to post something of an edit, but this is from the Trenchy dark mode edit. All I did was change the texture. I applied the new cast bar that is like behind the unit frame. I put the portrait on the player and target. I just slightly adjusted the details. This is the details from Trenchy. He has this on his Wago page. We'll also post this in the Discord under my profiles, so you can quickly access this. But I just changed the texture to show class color instead of the dark. And then like for bigwigs, this is something that is not shared. I'll try to just post the LUA, and you just have to switch out your LUA file for this. But I do have several videos on my YouTube channel covering how I've set up bigwigs. So check that out. The texture that I use here is the mMedia tags N38. Really makes the color pop. Nice gradient. And then Omni CD, don't judge me for this gap right here. And the interrupts thing. I'm not even sure if you can see my mouse actually. I'm hovering, but the Omni CD thing. This is a profile I can share as well that just show the icons for the interrupts. And then just a few icons. This is actually Trenchy's profile for Omni CD. I just changed the interrupt to not show the status bar, but just to show the icon and their name. Super easy. So anyways, this is the profile. I'm going to walk through quickly how I did this. So I've gone through the gibberish installer. I chose Trenchy Dark. It reloads. Here's what it looks like. The first thing you need to do, and this is an update that's coming soon, but right now when you upload Trenchy, it automatically goes to 0.7. You just need to change this to 0.59. You can keep it at 0.7, and if you like the bigger resolution or scale, I mean, you can keep that and adjust, but all the other gibberish profiles are 0.59. I play on a 32-inch 1440 monitor. It's not curved or anything like that, but this is just what like fits my eye, and I think this is the recommended scale for mine. I know if you have a 32-inch or 34-inch curved, I think it's like 0.53333 for instance. But anyways, getting off topic. First thing that you can do here is come into cosmetic, and if you like the thicker borders, you can keep those, but I typically turn them off because I like the Eltruism shadows a lot more. It just makes, like with the colors and textures I use for the uniframes, it just makes it pop even more when I use the shadows. It just gives a nice glow effect. So as you can see, it's not showing the shadows quite yet. So you just come open ElvUI or Eltruism, come into skins, shadows, and then I apply everything here. Even though I don't use some of the auras, if I do kind of mess around and turn them on, I might. And then I change the shadow size to 5, and then accept. It'll reload. Give this a minute. And then I do have a video showing how to set up the cast bar to show behind, and I'll do it quickly since it's pretty automatic, because with the Trenchy profile I've set it up so it just like works perfectly with this. Now to get it like the YouTube video I just showed, come back to ElvUI, Move the frame up a little bit. Unit frames, individual units, custom text, player name. I adjusted this to be a little bit smaller. I think in the video I have it like a 16. Actually, I'm not sure why this is pulling in. We need to delete this from the profile. It may be from some other profiles I've worked on, but I actually turned off the icon for this, and I moved the player name all the way over to the left-hand side. The next thing on this frame is portrait. You want to make sure you have this enabled, overlay, full overlay. The overlay alpha I turn all the way up so it really shows the model nice. The camera distance I have all the way out so you can see most of it. And then I have this on my human, it's a little bit different. The torrent is huge, so I mean, even with it maxed out, pulls in almost the entire frame. So if I am playing my torrent, like I may move it over here to the left, just so I can see more of the unit frame. But this is just up to you. But this is how I've changed the portrait here. In some of my profiles, on my player, I may actually just like turn this off too. Completely up to you. If you like to have your name there, keep it there. You can move it up to the top if you want. It's fully customizable, super easy to make changes. So that's the player frame. The next thing to match my YouTube, if you go into combat icon, Trenchy will have these swords automatically, but I actually choose the ones right above it. And I put this over onto the right hand side. So, bada bing, easy. Now, in the target frame, you'll do the same steps. You go into custom text. Again, disregard this class icon one. You can disable this target icon. Target name, move it down to 16. Right hand side, adjust the X axis so it's all the way over to the right. In my YouTube video, I have this toggled off. Portrait, same thing, on, alpha all the way up. You can keep it centered. You can put this guy over to the right a little bit, whatever seems right. Now, see how they're like looking at each other? This is just with model rotation. So you can choose like where the model's actually looking, and I just kind of try to copy the player so they're actually like kind of like facing each other. 1v1. And then the target of target, all I did for this was just made the name a little bit smaller. And then since we adjusted the scale, depending on where you like your unit frames and everything, you may just have to move these up to match where like your weak ores are, or however you like. So all I do here when I do that, I just make sure I have the X and Y, and I just try to match it. So almost right there, 442. $335. I'm not sure why it's not pulling the same. I'm not going to worry about that right now, but just try to match this. And then for the status bar texture, this will take a minute to load because I'm using mMedia tags. It has tons of textures. And I've actually added a few more textures that's not going to be included in the installer, but I actually stole some stuff from Supervillain. I'm trying to replicate a few things there, running into some issues. It's not that easy, but kind of exciting, just a little side project to work on. So I use Eltruism blank, and then in colors, in health, I just make this a little bit darker. So to match my YouTube video, you make it a little darker. Toggle off transparent, and I do that because for the cast bar, you won't want it to be transparent. It'll like make the unit frame in the cast bar look too integrated. So toggle this off. So now we're on our way to making this more like the YouTube video. If I go into group units, party, display frames, since I heal, I just move these up. This is how I've always healed since the Burning Crusade. So I just always move them up here. Same type of workflow. You'll come in and turn off the class icon. You can keep it on if you want. Party name. Move this over all the way to the left. Just the sizing a bit. And then I also toggled off the health. I typically don't need that when I'm healing. And then the role icon, you can adjust this within Eltruism, skins, and role icons. So you can pick and choose. These are fine. I love these. I love all of the ones that Eltruism has. mMedia tag has a ton of different icons as well. I don't even know where they are now. I forget. It's probably like right in front of, oh, right here, duh. So you just enable this, disable Eltruism, and enable cosmetic role symbols for mMedia, and he has tons of options that are really cool. So that's up to you. Typically, in party role icon, I hide this in combat so they're not there, just because I feel like this does take up some space while I'm healing. I don't want this to be in my view. And then let me think. The only other thing is the raid debuff indicator. I typically will have this on for when I heal. I can adjust the sizing here. I typically will have this over onto the right hand side. This is another reason why I don't have the role icons showing in combat. So you can move this, adjust the y-axis, and have them match up. So I'm not gonna worry about this too much right now. Just put that to 0. You can adjust the size so it's like a perfect matchup. But then debuffs, okay, that's toggled off. I typically don't have those on, and buffs. So this is my healing setup, just like in the YouTube video. The details we'll have in Discord. There's a ton of them already uploaded. I'll show you where those are at. So if I come into here and look at Gibberish Profiles, there's detail profiles, and you can go through quite a few. There's this thin dark mode, a black background, a chunky mode, a minimal with thin lines, Kth edit with this nice texture. Details is super easy to configure. There's another video I just posted on YouTube about this. But if you want to, just go through and check it out. Bars general and texture, and just click on these. You can see what you like and adjust them fairly easily. And then you can put an overlay texture, background. So a lot you can do there to configure. The last piece I'll show that I did on that YouTube video, if I come in and toggle anchors, you just right click on this Eltruism data text. The Eltruism time, you can just adjust the font here. So as we know, we like the Gotham XN Ultra. And then the data text, I adjusted this a little bit. I don't need to know like my friends or guild. So I turned these off and I adjusted them a little bit. I just took the durability and moved it over to this one, I think. Let's see. Yeah, so now it's showing 1, the time, durability, time, and then the FPS system. I just put it over here on the right hand side. Boom. Easy. So the last thing for the colors with Trenchy's profile, he has a few different textures in the unit frames. He has the mMedia A2. It's kind of like a darker profile. I typically use the Eltruism Blink with the gradient. Looks fantastic. Really makes it pop, so I'll wait for this to load. So Eltruism Blink, I'll apply to all. So now it goes for target texture, pet texture, boss. Then you can come into player cast bar texture. And this is where I use the mMedia tag N38. Scroll all the way down towards the bottom. I'll show you a glimpse of what that looks like. With the different colors, I'll show you how to do this. It looks really nice. Again, I do have a YouTube video explaining the entire cast bar setup. And then classes, you can disable this. If you have unit frames, they'll just pull from that. But typically, like, I will have the Eltruism blank applied to all here. Again, there's a lot you can do yourself. Like, if you want to check out textures, mess around with this and see what you like. Gradients all enabled, perfect. Colors. One thing that I've really liked and have done is use the VXT colors. So after you've set this up, you can just click on VXT and it'll change all of your class colors to VXT colors. It's the same class colors, but they are very vibrant, very bright. For instance, like hunters are like a lime green, neon green. So it's up to you if you like that or not. You can test it out. For the purpose of this, I'll just keep it the same. Okay, so the only other thing, let me think really quick. I'm looking at my profile. Oh yeah, the cast bar. Let me pull this up. So unit frames, individual units, player, cast bar. I already forget I think it's 58. Let's see what this looks like. That looks about right. So I can put this right above. We'll do some testing on this. Just need to move this up. Nice. So in this, you adjust the width and height. Only other thing you need to do is use the custom strata and make sure it's in the background of the frame. So now when I toggle off the show and hide, when I do a cast, it shows right there. So now I go into target, cast bar, 288, 58, 432. Ooh, so close. Nice. Looks great. Now you can come into Eltruism, gradient colors, and in unit frame colors, toggle off class colors, and then you can adjust this however you want. So you can change the player cast bar color and the non-interruptible color. Same with the target cast bar. Disable the class colors. And you can copy the settings if you want them to look the same. You can change these up however you want. But yeah, so this is just a quick edit of how I've gotten this to look from the Trenchy Dark profile just to this like slightly customized gibberish style. Some things that you can check out too is come into add-ons, add-on profiles, to have the warp deplete look like this as well, where it has like the gradients. You can customize the textures here as well, the font. Download warp deplete and then copy this add-on profile from Eltruism. Same with like Omni CD. He has some awesome settings for this. You can check this out. For my combat text, I use the nameplate scrolling combat text from Eltruism. And then I'll show you this really quick in add-ons. Nameplate, this is my settings. So abilities, rainfall, vertical up, rainfall, rainfall, rainfall. I think this is slightly adjusted from what Eltruism has. But then I've changed the font to Gotham Narrow Ultra. You can use the KMT all caps. It's the same for numbers. The healing numbers that you'll see in the YouTube video, that is from, I'm going to go into one of my folders. So in my program folders, retail, under fonts, I've changed Arial Narrow Frizz, Cutie, Morpheus, all to the KMT Gotham XN Ultra. So I believe the standard Blizzard font for combat text is Frizz. I think it may be Morpheus, it may be Arial Land. I'm not completely sure, but since I've changed these out with the KMT Gotham XN Ultra font, anywhere in Blizzard where in game where it shows these fonts, it'll be just switched out. So it's automatically going to show that. So my healing numbers, it's just the KMT, and it's from switching this out. Now, in the Discord, if I can pull this up again, show you. Under frequently asked questions, you can get my font directly from this folder. You'll come in, you can download this. UI fonts, they're already set up. So all you have to do if you download this, and if you want the all caps font applied everywhere, you would just copy this folder, go back into your World of Warcraft folder, fonts, and just delete this and paste the one that I just went through. That way everything will be there, everything will be KMT, super easy to use then, and super easy to change up in game. So the font's included in the installer, but if you want the font for your healing numbers just to automatically show, that's one way to do it. So that's all I'm going to show today for the video. Hopefully this was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions, concerns. Join the Discord, like this video, subscribe to the channel for more. Appreciate everyone watching, and we'll see you on the next one.